It was a bright, early morning when I received the text from my mom. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary at first. "Good luck with your graduation today, we love you," it read, followed by a bunch of heart emojis. But something felt off. I had just finished preparing for the big day, putting on my gown and cap, and making sure everything was perfect. Graduation was the culmination of years of hard work. The moment when I would finally walk across that stage and receive the degree I had spent so much time and effort earning. But as I stared at my phone and reread the message, a strange, sinking feeling started to form in my stomach. My parents had been distant lately, but I never thought it would come to this. They hadn't been involved in any of the celebrations leading up to this day. No calls asking how I was feeling about the ceremony, no planning, no excitement. I knew they were busy with their family trip, a trip that had been planned months ago, at the same time as my graduation, but I had hoped they'd at least make an exception for this one day. After all, they had never missed any of my milestones before. This felt like the first time they'd truly let me down. I tried not to let it bother me too much. The ceremony was about to start, and I didn't want to dwell on what felt like an insignificant disappointment in the grand scheme of things. I would be surrounded by friends and classmates, many of whom had the support of their families, and that was enough. As I entered the auditorium and took my seat with the rest of the graduates, I put on my best smile, trying to suppress the feelings of abandonment that were threatening to ruin the moment. The ceremony began with a long list of speeches, each speaker waxing poetic about the journey ahead, the challenges we had overcome, and the incredible potential we all had. The usual cliches that everyone had heard 1,000 times before, but this time, they felt heavier. Maybe it was because I was listening through the lens of my own situation. A young adult who had worked so hard to get here, only to realize that my parents, the ones who should have been there to cheer me on, had chosen to go on a vacation instead. As I walked across the stage to receive my degree, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. I looked out into the crowd, hoping to spot a familiar face, hoping to see my parents cheering for me, even if they weren't physically present. But there was no one. My heart dropped. I could feel the tears threatening to spill out, but I quickly wiped them away, focusing on the task at hand. I couldn't let this moment be ruined. Not by them, not by anything. I smiled for the cameras, posed for the photos, and tried my best to keep my composure as I made my way back to my seat. The ceremony finally ended, and I was relieved that I could at least put the day behind me. I knew I'd never forget it, but at least I could start looking forward to the next chapter of my life. I was determined to make the most of it. I checked my phone again. There were no messages from my parents. I took a deep breath and texted them, hoping to hear from them, hoping they'd explain why they chose a family trip over my graduation. The response came after what felt like an eternity. "Hey, honey, we hope the ceremony went well. We are so proud of you. Sorry we couldn't make it. It's just that the trip was already planned.
But we wanted to talk to you about something.
When you get a chance, give us a call." I stared at the message for a long time. My parents had been planning this trip for months, and I had understood that. I had tried to be understanding about it, but to see them so casually brush off my graduation as if it was just another day was more than I could handle. I called them. "Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. I just wanted to talk to you about the graduation. I get that the trip was planned, but it still hurts that you weren't there. You've always been there for me, so why now?" I said, my voice trembling as I tried to keep my emotions in check. "We're really sorry, sweetheart. But it's a family trip, and we've been looking forward to it for so long. You know how hard it is to get everyone together." My mom's voice came through the phone. "We didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's just that, well, we really need your help with something." My heart skipped a beat. "What do you need help with?" I asked, trying to ignore the ache in my chest. "We need $2,000 to help pay for something. It's really important, and we'd be so grateful if you could help us out. We've been saving, but things got tight." The world seemed to stop for a moment. They needed $2,000? After they had abandoned me on my graduation day, they had the audacity to ask for money? I felt the anger rise inside me, but I tried to stay calm. "I don't have that kind of money right now, Mom. You know that," I replied. "Please, we really need it. We're desperate. My dad added in a voice that seemed to shake with urgency. How could you even ask me for this after everything? You weren't even here for my graduation. You couldn't even show up for the one day that mattered to me the most, and now you're asking for money? I couldn't keep the anger out of my voice anymore. We didn't have a choice. This trip has been planned for so long, and we needed to make sure we could get by, my mom said defensively. The conversation spiraled from there. My frustration turned to tears, and I couldn't understand why they were so focused on their trip, on their own desires, when they couldn't even show up for me. When I finally said, no, everything changed. There was a long pause on the other end of the line before my mom spoke again. You know what? We've been there for you all your life, and this is how you repay us. Her voice was rising. You're being selfish. I'm calling the police. Wait, what? I couldn't believe my ears. You're calling the police? You're seriously doing this? We're going to report you for stealing our money, my dad shouted. If you won't help us, then you'll see how serious we are. The phone call ended, and I stood there in shock. My parents had just threatened to call the police because I didn't give them money. I didn't know what to do. Was this really happening? Minutes later, my phone rang again. I didn't want to answer it. I couldn't face them, but it was a blocked number, and I knew it was them. My heart was pounding in my chest, and my mind was racing. I picked up. What now? We've already called the authorities, my mom's voice said coldly. We'll see how much you care when they get involved. I hung up the phone. My stomach twisted in knots. I didn't know what was going to happen next, but I knew one thing for sure. My relationship with my parents would never be the same. The police never showed up. They must have realized how ridiculous the situation was. But the damage had been done. I spent the next few days in a haze, trying to make sense of everything. My parents' actions had left a scar on me that I wasn't sure would ever heal. I learned something that day. Family isn't always there when you need them. Sometimes, they make choices that hurt you deeply, and no amount of money or words can fix the pain they cause. But through it all, I found strength within myself to keep moving forward. I didn't need them to validate my accomplishments. I didn't need them to be there on my graduation day. I had earned this degree on my own, and I was proud of it. And no matter what happened next, I knew I would never allow anyone, even my parents, to make me feel small again.